met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Nestled in the Sonoma Mountains near a geographic formation known as Sears Point, Sonoma Raceway has been a staple on the NASCAR schedule for over 3 decades. Sonoma presents a unique challenge for drivers of big stock cars or trucks. While the 1.99-mile, 10-turn stock car configuration cuts off 2 slow turns and a half-mile of pavement, there are still plenty of ups and downs and zigs and zags for the drivers to cope with. Keeping the tires and the brakes in good working order while maintaining a competitive pace is one of the biggest challenges these drivers will face all season long. Till it was taken over by Speedway Motorsports in 1996, the facility endured a turbulent history under a variety of names and ownerships, one of which was a Hollywood studio. While the circuit opened for competition in 1968 under the name Sears Point Raceway and hosted USAC IndyCar, NASCAR West, SCCA Pro and amateur races, it failed to perform financially. It was closed down 2 years later. In 1973, the track reopened as a venue for amateur sports car competition and on separate drag strip, drag racing. But it wasn't until 1989 and the arrival of the NASCAR's Top Series that the track's prospects truly began to brighten. The $60 million improvement program, begun in 2000, has catapulted Sonoma Raceway into the top rank of American motorsport facilities. Tonight, it's race number 2 of the Davidson Builders Truck Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Sonoma Raceway for the Davidson Builders Truck Series, race number 2 of the season, going right to a road course right after the first race of the season. Talk about a throwback. Let's take a look at the race details. Rather cool here today, 66-degree ambient temperature, humid though, 88% humidity with overcast skies, almost no breeze to speak of. Track temp, 83, 84 degrees. It's kind of been hovering around there throughout the practice sessions. Speaking of practice, it's just about complete here at Sonoma. Let's take a look at the standings, see where everyone's lined out. So far, to no one's surprise, the road course ringer himself, Zach Millett, fastest on the board, a full 2nd and a 10th quicker than second quick Cole Hendrickson. Minute 16:55 for Millett. Don't let him fool you. He's fast on road courses, but he's fast just about everywhere that we go. Of course, last week, Super Speedway racing for the 315, not his cup OT. Still had a solid finish, though. Alfie Charon Jr., teammate in the HBR TV livery, the number 9 machine. He's 6th on the board. Alfie has really done a good job improving his road racing skills over the last couple of seasons in general. It's something he's truly worked on, gotten much better at it. His lap time, a minute at 18:52. Going to be some tight times here in qualifying. Again, these guys have had some challenges here trying to get through some lap traffic. Not lap traffic, but slower traffic. Guys that are more akin to oval racing. You see it happening right there as Alfie gets a piece of the tire barriers. Chris Klein, 15th on the board. Chris Goins in the stream chat already. Who let my spotter drive a truck? Let's go, Millett. Klein loses it out of turn 11. Such an easy part of the racetrack to do it. Very, very slow corner. You got to be able to put the power down without breaking the rear tires loose. BJ Cox in the 05 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Got the old Viagra colors on board this week. PJ about 8th quick right now. Best lap, 1:19. Jonathan Orn in the stream chat. Steve, I think you'd be a great commentator for NASCAR. Yeah, I think I missed my true calling. I don't know. I enjoy it. I spend a lot of time listening to the races versus watching. Of course, my time goes back to the Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett days, but also Barney Hall and Dave Moody and Mike Bagley on the MRN side of things. That's kind of what I model myself after. I know that's more of a radio style, but I try to do every race like that. It certainly makes it a little more exciting, especially when you only got one guy in the booth. You got to try and find a way to make it fun. But do appreciate the kind words, Jonathan. Qualifying should have started by now. It was 8:10 time. Looks like we're going to jump to it right now. A couple minutes late, no worries. Jump right into the session. We'll see who hits the track first. Some drivers may opt to wait a little bit longer before they come out just for the sake of cooling the racetrack a little bit, but it seems Jacob Sperling going to be the first to roll. Sperling in the number 88, still got the 911 livery on board. Sperling already off track. This is his out lap. Again, you're going to see this through some drivers. Road racing just not in their forte, in their bag of tricks, if you will. I think we only have 2 road courses on the entire season. In fact, let me double check that. Of course, Sonoma here at race number 2, but the second to last race of the season will be at Watkins Glen. Very different style racetrack compared to Sonoma Raceway. This place is a lot more technical. A lot of elevation change, a lot of slow corners, a lot of change of direction. Versus Watkins Glen, there's a little change of direction, there's a good amount of elevation change, but a lot of wide open throttle. You got those big straightaways to contend with, heavy braking zones. Don't really deal with that a whole lot here at Sonoma. Sperling takes the green flag on his qualifying attempt. Trick to this place, whether it's at Watkins Glen or Sonoma or really any other road course, Road America, Mid-Ohio, you name it, just be smooth. If you can't get the power down, you're just going to spin those rear tires. You're not going to go anywhere, at least not quickly. Oh, real loose through the corner here. He's going to spin it sideways. Sperling in trouble here on his first lap. He can gather it back up, give it another go. He still has another opportunity. Chris Cohn says, if you ever need a Kyle Petty in the booth, questionable racing opinions, ruffles, feathers, and mediocre racecraft, let me know. You know where to find us, Chris. Jump on up if you want. Zach Millett on his first time lap. Down through turn 5, real wide, almost brushing the left side of the truck in the barrier. Turn 6. Now down into the S's for the first time. Alfie Sharon Jr. fastest so far, minute 17:76. Good lap for Alfie. Millett through turn 11. Across the stripe, Zach Millett, where does he land? P1, minute 16:88, lightning quick lap, 9/10 almost faster than teammate Alfie Sharon. Derek Welch, third quick, Parsons fourth, Adamson fifth. Welch on his second lap. We'll see if he can pick it up. It seems that lap 1 may be faster in qualifying. We'll see if he can improve. And looks like Derek's just going to lock up the brakes and call it a session. He's got what he's going to get. Ryan Torch at 12th quick on his first lap. Minute 22:19. Again, admittedly, Torch not a road racer by any means, but he's quick on the ovals. Especially drop him into a tour-type modified, he can get it done. Lap 2 for Torsha, improvement, minute 21:10, puts him up into the 12th spot. Was 10th for just a quick minute. Joshua Sisk in the 6th. I'm going to make him change his number to like 19. Something easier to say with the last name. I think he did it on purpose. Sisk's first lap, minute 18:74. Joshua out of Statesville, North Carolina. And Joshua not a road racer by trade, but had some decent laps in practice. See where he can put this machine in the lineup. Overdrove the entry to 11 here, going to run real wide. We'll see if his lap time's any better. 7th quick the first time by with an 18:74. Third quick, 17:91. Big pickup for Joshua Sisk. Puts it in the second row. Justin Lawson 16th on his first lap. Minute 21:39. Lawson down into the final corner, turn 11, hairpin, slowest corner on the course. Oh, big wiggle trying to get the power down again. That's the challenge here at this place. Just dumb luck that they're able to run here with the track temp the way that it is, as Lawson runs a minute 20:63, improves his lap time. Seems that everyone that's going to take a time has. Looks like from 22nd place on down, looks like everybody else has not posted a time. So they'll line up according to their I rating. Again, a few minutes left in the session officially, so we're going to jump out here, get a quick break. We'll talk about the keys to the race here when we come back. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back. Back at Sonoma Raceway for race number 2 of the Davidson Builders Truck Series. Let's take a look at our starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 1 minute 16.671. It's the 315, that S4 guy. It's Zach Millett. Outside front row with Holler Boys Racing. It's also the 9 teammate Alfie Sharon Jr. with HBR TV adorned on the side. Row number 2, it's Cole Hendrickson with Joshua Sisk to his outside. And there's no way I'm going to get through the season without messing that up every time. Hunter Parsons in the 5 starts in P5. Derek Welch will roll from P6. PJ Cox starts in the 7th position with Mike Adamson, the number 89 Platinum Racing driver, out of the 8th position. Jesse Sperling in the number 29 will start 9th, and rounding out the top 10, it's Evan Dupre in the number 47. Justin Lawson starts in the 11th spot with D. Allen Grote, the number 10, starting 12th. Eric Beadle, the 119, out of Beadle Motorsports. He'll roll off from P13. Skylar Harrod in the 3. Skunkworks Racing, he'll start 14th. Brandon Coleman will start 15th. Brian Torsha with Prestige Worldwide Racing, the number 81. He'll roll off from the 16th starting position. Jeffrey Ottinger will start in the 17th spot in the number 76. Chris Klein, the number 51, he'll start 18th. And then the number 00, Jacob Bowen starts 19th. Tony Polk with Wicked Loose Racing, he'll start 20th. Rob Chipman Jr., the number 58, his starting position, number 21. Justin Morrow, the number 46, rolls from the 22nd spot. Jacob Sperling, the number 88, starting 23rd. Starting 24th, it's Paul Durkee, the number 13, starting 25th. Mark Collins, the NTR, number 23. Tom Barish, also with MTR. He'll start in the 26th spot in the number 55. Scott Miller starts 31st. Mark Beverly rolling from the 28th starting position. 29th starter, it's going to be Benjamin McKinnon. Jarrett Woodard starts 30th, and Dave Holmberg, shotgun on the field in P31. It's your starting grid here from Sonoma Raceway as the field takes to the raceway here for one formation lap, one pace lap before we take the green flag here in just a moment. So we talk about the keys to the race. We were just touching on it earlier before the break, but taking care of your stuff, treating the tires like they are as valuable as well as they are. That's the key to the race here. You got to keep the tires underneath you, take care of them all the way through, but you got to manage it. You got to be fast. You can't overheat them. You can't overheat the brakes. You can't wear them out too soon. I know we're only racing 40 laps here, but that's still a good distance. Again, just shy of a 2-mile lap. We will have a halfway break at about lap 20. Look at that, 2 HBR TV livery machines on the front row here on the road course at Sonoma Raceway. Looking sharp as always. Pace car working through turn number 10. We'll be green flag racing in just a moment. Pace car is off. Millett leads him down to the start-finish line. Barney with the green in hand. He's got a little bit of a ways to go before he can wave it. Waiting. Green flag command is given, and we're racing from Sonoma. Oh, well, no, it's Alfie Sharon in trouble on the first couple of corners. He's going to go around. Alfie in big trouble up the hill into turn number 1. Already we've got an incident. Alfie goes from P2 to the back of the pack just like that. So Zach Millett in command now. Joshua Sisk takes over the 2nd spot. Not really sure how that all went down. Millett and Sisk have gotten away by a wide margin over the P3 machine of Parsons, just given to that incident on the opening lap. Go back and watch Alfie Charon here and see what happened here on the start. Again, this is the replay of the green flag going up the hill. Watch the number 9 to the outside. Green flag in the air. Both drivers cross the stripe without issue. Oh, it looks like Alfie just loses the rear end of the truck a little bit. I don't know if he was on the power. Really trying to chase it up the hill. Just gets too far gone and goes around. And then the 101 gets turned by the 15. 101, I believe. That was Cole Henriksen. He was quick in practice. An opening lap dramatics here. Luckily, again, with the halfway break coming through here, Alfie Charon's not out of this yet. He's going to have an opportunity to get caught up. Still got a tall order ahead of him, though. Back in the 22nd position. Already starting to work his way through some traffic. Meanwhile, back out in front, Zach Millett in command here. Over a 2-second advantage over the 6 machine of Joshua Sisk. First lap for Millett, it's a 17:12, very quick. Hunter Parsons in the 3rd spot. Again, the contact with the 101 of Henriksen off the nose of the 15 of Parsons. Now, so you're not confused, the 3rd place truck of Parsons is indeed the 5, but you'll see on the truck it's listed as the 15. The wrong wrap on it this week. Not the end of the world. We'll figure it out. Alfie Charon up into the 20th spot. Locks him up, trying to go for P19. Next on the list for Charon is Justin Lawson. Closes the gap significantly there through turn number 10. He's going to make a move to the inside, down to the hairpin, turn 11. Late on the brakes for the 9. To the inside and takes the spot away. Charon back up into 18th now. Still a ways to go, but he's got pace. He's got the ability level. Just that mistake on the opening lap. Jacob Sperling maybe had an issue a moment ago. Looks like he's doing okay. One car in pit lane. Looks like Benjamin McKinnon. He is officially in the number 15 machine. Not sure if he's just calling it a day. Now he's going to put it up on jacks and take some tires here. Again, only 4 laps in. It's an interesting decision to make. Just as we talk about it, Alfie Charon now into the 17th position. Just continues to truck forward. Justin Morrow is next on the list. Morrow had some pace in earlier practice session. Oh, both drivers run wide. Fortunately, that's something that does happen quite a bit. If you're working off the driver that's in front of you, if they make a mistake and they go wide off the racetrack, you're going to go with them. Looks like we got trouble behind these guys as well. Might have been the 10 of D. Allen Grote. Let's get a look at it. It's down into 11. The 3 takes the move to the inside. He gets completely alongside, so he's there. That's Skylar Harrod. And it looks like the 10 just gets down the power a little too soon in front of Eric Beadle, and big time nose damage on the 119 of Eric Beadle in that incident. He's going to have to come to pit road. So DL and Grote now in the 20th position. Beadle's still on the racetrack. Things looking like a modified at this point. Still in the 12th position, though. He's up one spot from qualifying. Let's see if he stays on the track or comes down and gets it fixed. If I'm him, I'm going to wait it out here until the halfway point if I can make it that far. Oh, and he gets run into. Just drives up the back bumper. I think that might have been the 19 of... well, maybe 18. I'm not sure. We'll have to go back and look at it. Maybe it's the 13 truck of Paul Durkee. Watch it real time here. Oh yeah, Durkee way late on the brakes. Just drives in the back of Eric Beadle. His problem's going from bad to worse. Zach Millett still out in front here. 5.7 seconds the advantage back to the 6 of Joshua Sisk. Joshua maintaining a reasonable gap here. Last lap for Millett was a 19:40. Sisk ran a 58, so just shy of 2/10 slower. It's not a ton. Really interested to see how this works with the halfway break. Brian Torsha in the 13th spot. He's up 3 positions. Paul Durkee in the number 13 pristineauction.com machine. He's up 10 spots, having a good run so far. It looks like Bowen's been in trouble. He has recently crashed. Mark Beverly is off the track. Beverly in the number 45 had a strong run last week. And things going from bad to worse for Eric Beadle. He's in trouble once again. I don't know if now the handling has gone away with the damage that he has. Let's see what happened here with Eric Beadle. A little too much curb. Beadle's just got to reset here. Beadle has spent a lot of time working with Zach Millett, trying to improve his road racing skills. He was doing well there for a minute. Got into trouble there with another car into the hairpin here, turn 11, put him into the wall, and that's where that damage came from. And then he's had 2 subsequent incidences after that, and he's almost having another one here. He's trying to force the issue. He's got to recognize that he has some damage here. He just needs to get back to that halfway point, stay on the lead lap, get the repairs made, use the fast repair, and get back after it. This race is not over for him. Even with those incidents, he's still within the top 20. A 31 truck field here tonight. Actually, maybe more like 29. We had a couple that may have taken the green flag here for a lap and have parked it in the pits. He even got a start and park here in the iRacing's races, but he Beadle way off the track again, going wide in the grass. Calm her down, Beadle. Calm her down. You got this. AAA Broadcasting in the stream chat says Zach the Hack gonna bring it home with the W, I believe. One thing I've always learned, don't take the hats to victory lane before the checkered flag waves. So far, Millett on a tear, 9.3 seconds ahead of the 6 of Joshua Sisk. Millen approaching some lap traffic as Beetle hits pit lane here, going to get some repairs made. For Beetle's sake at that point, he was going down a lap at that point anyway. Again, 10 laps in. Millen already starting to chew up some lap traffic. Millen's going to have to tread lightly here. Probably 5 or 6 trucks ahead of him that could pose an issue. Mark Collins, he goes wide, lets the leader go on by. The 58 of Robert Chipman Jr. next on the list. Derek Welch having a short off-track excursion. He's back on the racetrack. So much of these races, especially on road courses, is more so about just keeping it between the painted lines. Keep it out of the grass, keep it out of the dirt, in this case here at Sonoma. Being fast certainly helps, but if you can just keep the truck clean, keep it on the racetrack, not have any major problems, you'll usually have a pretty solid day, at least for the points. Evan Dupre closing down on the 1 of Derek Welch. Derek Welch still maintaining his position in the 7th spot. You see Eric Beetle off in the distance. He has gone down a lap back in 25th after his multiple incidents in the early stages of this race. Again, it's not over yet. Plenty of racing to go. 30 laps to be specific. A lot can happen. Other guys can have problems. We're going to have a caution here as well. Keep that in mind. So if Beetle can get up a few spots, become that first truck 1 lap down, he would be eligible for that lucky dog. We'll see if that ends up happening. Jesse Sperling in 6th, having an issue there just a moment ago. Derek Welch closes in again. This would be a battle for the 6th spot if he can get it. Welch way up on the curb. Into turns 3 and 4, and then the downhill into the right-hand turn number 5. Can be an okay place to pass if you can outbrake the guy, but Welch is just not close enough to get it done. Welch is close, though. It was less than a truck there in the middle of the car, or middle of the corner. Now back to the S's. Ryan Torsha and Justin Lawson battling for position. Torsha with the 14th spot. Lawson really doing all he can to try and take it away. Let's ride on board. Trying to look to the outside, had a better entry into the corner. He's going to cross him over here. See if he can get the power down on exit. Oh, the 45 at Lawson. Morrow slides off the racetrack at the top of the hill. That in turn 2. Morrow's going to drop down to about the 15th spot here. Meanwhile, Torch is taking care of the 18. Or stays in front of the 18 for that matter. Justin Lawson there in the 18 truck just behind. Lawson seems like he's got some pretty decent pace right now. He's going to challenge Torsha for that spot here in just a moment. Torch is trying to take it from Coleman, though, in the meantime. We've got a 3-truck battle here for position. Crossover. Torch to the bottom, and the 18 tried to stuff it in there as well. He was trying to go 3 wide on the exit of the hairpin. There's just not enough room to do that. Torch gets half spun on the corner exit, loses the spot. Aggressive move out of the number 18 truck of Justin Lawson. Well, 15 laps in here, we're going to step aside, get an HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way before the halfway break. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Sonoma Raceway in the Numb Racing League Davidson Builders Truck Series from Sonoma. Of course, Zach Millett out in front, 12 seconds. The race lead over the 6 of Joshua Sisk. Man, I'm having troubles with that. But either way, I got some backup here in the booth. Chris Goins, welcome to the HBR TV booth.
Hey, Steve, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Well, you know what's going on. We're here at the road course, one of my favorite things to do, of course. Second race of the season here, the Davidson Builders Truck Series. And to no one's surprise, Zach Millett, a healthy lead here with 23 laps to go as we approach the halfway break.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little late. Lost my phone on pit road, but I wanted to jump in here. And, yeah, it looks like Millett is doing Millett things and running away on the road courses.
Well, the good thing is here, again, they got some drivers actually opting to pit a little early, trying to short pit, take advantage of some strategy here. Again, the caution will come out at about lap 20, I think, for the halfway. It should bunch the field back up. But the problem is these guys that are starting to pit, they're catching themselves a lap down here, and they're going to get trapped a lap down when that yellow comes out. I know Millett's putting a blistering pace on out there, but I don't know if that's necessarily the greatest plan.
Yeah, well, with the break, it's definitely going to change things up a little bit, so I think he can push a little hard here at the beginning and then just kind of see what it shakes out at the end to figure out how he can save and things like that. So,
PJ Cox from the 10th spot comes down pit lane. I think the call for everybody is going to be 4 tires and fuel here. Interestingly enough, I believe pit lane was supposed to close at lap 18. I don't know if that was official. I know there was some talk about it. PJ Cox down and away here as we are on lap 18. So, Chris, I know you've got some road racing background in your iRacing repertoire, and you've got a good bit of oval racing, at least in the trucks and everything else, whether it's Next Gen Cup Series, Xfinity, you name it. What is really the key to getting around these places quickly, not just on a road course setting, but a truck on a road course? I think we might have lost Chris Goins. Chris Goins fighting a fire in his house at the moment, so hopefully he's back soon. Wish him the best. I think he dropped his mic and ran. Well, nevertheless, it is what it is. We'll digress. No fire here in the HBR TV studios as Zach Millett rolls his way out of turn 11 here. Keeps it tucked to the inside. I think he's just trying to take care of his stuff at this point. Struggling to keep the power down.
Caution, caution.
And with 21 laps to go, a little bit sooner, a little early, the caution comes out. I thought the break was supposed to be at lap 20, but we're jumping the gun. Unless something changed. I wasn't in the driver's meeting, so it could be part of it as well. But the caution on the speedway, first and only of the day. Again, we're running yellows only in the local aspect of things. No full course cautions, with this being the exception. So Millett with the race lead. He's got 16 seconds on second place, and with this caution coming out when it does, it traps everybody a lap down except for the top 10. That top 10 being Zach Millett, Joshua Sisk, Hunter Parsons, Cole Henriksen in 4th, Mike Adamson 5th. Then it's Derek Welch, Evan Dupre, Alfie Charon Jr. all the way up into the top 10 after his first lap issues. Skylar Harrod and Jesse Sperling. That's your top 10. Ryan Torsha in the 11th spot, first truck, 1 lap down. I think if all goes well, he should get the wave around here on this. Now my concern is Millett just bypassed pit entry. It's probably not open for him yet, but I'm concerned that if he catches the pace car here, that it may open the pits for the rest of the field prior. Let's see where Joshua Sisk, if he stays on the track. So we have seen that happen in the past where the leader gets out to such an advantage that it throws off the timing of the opening of pit lane. And everybody behind the leader can pit because it opens before the leader gets there. Not the case here, so I think we're in good shape. So there's the pace car now coming down the hill into the right-hander, turn 5. Millett's caught the pace car. Now Sisk still 18 seconds back. That car's still spinning under the yellow. I know they're trying to get caught up. So in Millett's case, he's going to have an opportunity to hit pit lane here. It appears significantly sooner than the rest of the competition. Sisk is still back about 14 seconds. The gap's closing in a little bit faster here. We'll see how much time they make up. Millet into pit lane here, 4.7 seconds ahead of Sisk as he gets down pit lane. Some drivers not on the lead lap, but they'll stay out and go one more lap around before they have their opportunity. You see Joshua Sisk just coming down pit lane now. Millet approaching the end of pit lane, looking for his pit locks. In a curved pit lane here. It's a little different than it used to be back in the day. There was two sets of pits. You had an outside and an inside. Millet into the box, too deep, has to back it up. Lucky he had a little extra time. It's the first time we've seen Millet do that in a long time. 4 tires and Sunoco Racing fuel for the HBR TV 315. Drops the jack. Millet down and away. 16.3 seconds to stop. Not a great one. Cole Henriksen there in the second spot. Joshua Sisk, he's out of pit lane here. Hunter Parsons in the 15/5. It's going to come out second. 14.77 seconds is the stop for Hunter Parsons. A good stop. So with that, we're going to jump out and get one more break out of the way. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Sonoma Raceway, coming to 17 laps to go. Pace car lights are off, so we're going to do green flag racing this time by. It's going to be Zach Millet, Hunter Parsons, Joshua Sisk, Cole Henriksen, Mike Adams in the top 5, then Derek Welch, Alfie Charon, Evan Dupre, Skylar Harrod, Jesse Sperling, Chris Klein, Brandon Coleman, the top 12. Jonathan Arn says, does Zach Millet do driver training classes? Not officially, but he's more than happy to help when time permits. Just keep that in mind. Chris Goins, did you put the fire out?
Yeah, fire's out. Yeah.
Well, new fire getting ready to start here, and
What
we're
are
not
they
going.
doing?
What is going on here? We waved the caution just as we're coming to the green flag.
Looks like there was a big gap there at the back.
Yeah, there was a big gap, but you had
It's a long pace lap for some guys to catch back up.
Well, not only that, though, the pace car had already hit pit lane. I mean, you're coming to green. Well, we'll go another lap around here. Pace car is back out. We should get the green flag the next time by. That'll be 16 laps to go. If anything, this just helps Zach Millett even more, because you know he's going to be laying down laps like nobody's business. They're going to be fast. He's going to be aggressive. This just means he can save the tires less than he had planned, given that it's going to be now a 16-lap run to the finish. So before you had the fire, we were going to ask, we know you've got some road racing experience, whether it's in the GT3 cars or even, you know, in the stock car or stock trucks. What is the key to get around a place like Sonoma Raceway, especially in this big, heavy truck that we have here tonight?
Well, you know, one thing that I've kind of learned racing these more and more, you can honestly get away with third gear pretty much the entire lap other than turn 11. So you can limit that wheel spin, you know, by keeping those RPM down. And it feels a little sluggish coming out of the corners a little bit, but the tires that you save, you're going to pick up that time towards the end of the run anyway. So I just try to limit the tire spin by keeping a little bit higher gear if possible.
Getting ready to go back green flag racing once again. As you can even look now back towards the field, we're still spread out. We have two packs here. It almost looks like a sports car series getting ready to go green here with the staggered start. But a lot of drivers not caught up as of yet. Yeah, the lineup's all messed up still. I don't know if they're going to let this go or not. Looks like we might be going green anyway. Coming to 16 laps to go.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. We're back racing. Millett side by side, top of the hill. Millett loses the race lead here. Parsons goes to the point. Henriksen's going to battle now to the inside. Millett's just in the wrong part of the racetrack here. Doesn't have the preferred lane.
Yeah, all these right-hand turns, Steve, got him on the outside, so now he's going to play catch-up.
Well, dangerous place to be side by side through the S's, but he takes the second spot back from Henriksen. Now he's going to have to fight to get Parsons back here before the end of the lap. I know Millett wants to lead every one of these. We'll see if he can do it. Parsons with the lead still on a turn 10. Now the run down to the hairpin, turn 11. Millett to the outside, defensive line for Parsons. Good move, locks him up, gets into the tire pack. Almost gets into Millett. Millett's going to check up here to save from hitting the 15, but the 101 of Ericsson, or Henriksen for that matter, is going to close the gap. Fight for the second spot. We got a battle here. Second spot out front though. Parsons with the race lead, gonna go up the hill. Still side by side is Millett and Henriksen. Crazy restart here. Millett back on the charge here. He's gonna try and reel in Parsons.
Yeah, I think you'll see him try and set him up through the S's and try and take advantage of that turn 11, make that pass.
Millett was there, but he shut the door. On the brakes, down into the hairpin. Millett with the preferred lane here. He gets to the inside. Parsons tries to force him down, though, as Henriksen spins out the back. Parsons maintains the top spot. Millett can't get the power down on exit. Jonathan Arnn very excited to have Chris Goins in the broadcast booth. Hunter Parsons doing a good job here, staying out in front of a very fast Zach Millett. Parsons, though, last lap, a minute 19:11. Millett, a full 10th plus faster, just can't get by him at this point. Got to find the perfect opportunity to get this pass done. Millett all over Parsons like a cheap suit through the S's once again. Talk about deja vu. Millett took a peek to the inside there through the S's before turn 10. Parsons closed the door once again. Now down the short chute into the turn 11, the right-hander. Millett, nothing for him right here. Parsons locks it up, dives to the inside, does Millett. Tries to get the power down out of the corner. It's going to be a drag race back to start-finish, but Parsons has the preferred lane here coming to the start-finish line. Luke Parsons took a little bit of a liberty there with the lane. Now up the hill, contact with Parsons. Parsons tries to turn in, but Millett's there and takes the top spot back. 13 laps to go. Millett now with a full second advantage in the 6 of Joshua Sisk, closing in on Parsons here up the hill. So meanwhile, Millett starting to stretch it out here, already 1.6, 1.7 seconds away from this battle in the second spot. Sisk to the bottom. He's going to take P2 away as well. I tell you, that 6 truck made it look a whole lot easier than Millett did. So, Chris, I mean, what is the preferred method here? I mean, in a place like Sonoma, it's so technical, it's so rhythmic, so to speak. Not a lot of heavy braking zones to take advantage of a passing. What is the best way to set up and complete a pass at a place like this?
Staying as close as you can to that car in front of you and hoping he makes a mistake. But you know, being able to get the run off of 10 and then down through what is it, 4A and 4B or 4 and 7 or whatever they number it now. Those are really the only places that are good to pass. So being able to get through those smoothly and kind of staying to that back bumper of the guy in front of you is going to be key. And a little bumper never hurts either.
Yeah, a little bumper, a little fender, that kind of deal. It doesn't hurt. We watched Millett try to get that pass, get that lead back from Parsons. I honestly think Zach was pushing too hard. Again, with 15, 16 laps to go at the time, he had a lot of time to get that pass completed and stretch out his advantage like he has done at this point. It's 2.6, 2.2, 2.3 back to the 6 of Joshua Sisk. I got to keep practicing that one.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Meanwhile, Parsons now in the 3rd spot. Want to give a call to Alfie Charon, though. He started outside front row. The opening lap of the race didn't even make it to turn 2. The truck was sideways. He spent the first corner just trying to save the truck and ended up not able to save it. Crossed up in front of the entire field and has since been fighting his way back through this field. He finds himself into the top 10, knocking on the tailgate of Parsons for P3 here with 12 laps to go. Cole Henriksen still in the 5th spot. He's got the 89 of Mike Adamson in behind. Henriksen, a deceivingly low road course I rating. It doesn't always mean anything because he was very fast in the practice session. He's been able to throw down some decent laps here today. A 17:87. That is pretty quick, especially when you compare it to Zach Millett's best lap at a 17:12. If it weren't for some bad luck, I think Henriksen would be up there in that top 3. Alfie Charon still trying to find a solution to the problem that's out in front of him. That's Hunter Parsons. Again, for those of you looking at the timing tower, see Parsons in the 5 and the truck that we watched, the 15. It just means he's got the wrong paint on it this week. It is still the right driver behind the wheel of that machine. Henriksen seems fast here. He's putting the pressure on Alfie Charon here up through turns 3 and 4. Alfie turns in a little bit too soon. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it didn't seem to help him too much as Henriksen is still right there. A little too much curve for the 101. That's going to help Alfie a bit. Now the turn 6, the right-hander. This is where they run real wide on exit. Oh, we got a car spinning. It's Parsons. Parsons just loops it by himself. Goes from P3 back to the 6th spot. It's going to put Alfie Charon up into a podium position with 10 to go, but can he hold off Henriksen? Cole in that 101 machine, very quick. Now we see it kind of here, and we talked about it, a defensive line here on the road courses. Chris, try to explain that to the viewers, what exactly that means, a defensive line when you're trying to prevent a guy from passing you. And it looks like Chris Goins is exiting. No worries, dealing with some post-fire issues. Catch up with Chris Goins at a later date. So we'll talk about it. Defensive lines, when you're trying to, effectively what it sounds like, defend your position against the trailing driver, is essentially you don't run your traditional fast line. You're going to be slower running a defensive line, but you also take away the preferred lane for the trailing driver. If he's going to try and make a move to your inside as you run the preferred fast line, well, you just stop doing that. You start to run a little bit lower, a truck width at least to the inside of the approaching corner so that he can't dive down. If he's going to pass you, he's got to have a really good run around the outside of that corner in order to get it done. And 99% of the time, it's just not going to happen. You see it there even on the exit of 11. Alfie keeps it way low on the exit all the way through that corner. Right on board and see what it looks like out the front windshield of the 101 machine as he trails Alfie Charon here, trying to take that 3rd spot away. Yeah, Henriksen's really spinning the back tires here. That's just going to hurt him as this run goes on. Alfie's approaching some lap traffic now, though. That's going to be a challenge for him as well. But Henriksen, again, losing the back of the truck, trying to put the power down to the racetrack. Spinning ain't winning, and he's turning left to go right and right to go left. A lot of these corners. He's got his hands full behind the wheel of that 101 machine, but he's certainly losing ground to Alfie Charon. Alfie's going to have to try and find a way this lap truck. 31 pulls to the right. He gets out of the way. Scott Milner. Milner not able to stay too much out of the way here. Oh, in contact. Henriksen and Milner go around here in the middle of the corner. You should have seen that one coming. I know he's trying to get around that lap truck, but you got to be patient. When you're not patient, that's what happens. And if you look closely, he still has to pass Milner. As Milner got away. 7 laps to go here from Sonoma. Zach Millett still your race leader, well in command here, just shy of 7 seconds. The advantage back to the number 6 machine of Joshua Sisk. Millett coming into the 58 machine. It's Robert Chipman Jr. makes short work of him in the exit of the S's down into turn 10. Millet now out to 8 seconds, the advantage over the second place machine. Alfie Charon now comfortably into the third spot here. Mike Adamson the next in line. He's back in P4, number 89, that Hooters Restaurants machine. I could go for some wings right about now. Parsons going around the 76 of Ottinger. Ottinger in 20th. Not on the lead lap. Parsons still hanging tough in the 5th position. It is right where he started here today. Restarted this race on the front row and actually was able to lead some laps over Zach Millet. Millet made short work of him after a couple of laps and then drove away, and then subsequently Parsons had an issue. He spun just entering the S's. Talk about a hornet's nest. Brian Torsha trying to squeak his way through. Gets by the 15. Just ahead of him is now the 29 truck. Chris Klein back in 11th. Got 5 laps to go here from Sonoma. Zach Millet out to a strong advantage. Now it's 10 seconds as Chipman Jr. jumps the curb. That down to the exit of turn 5. Alfie Charon still runs in the 3rd spot, working his way through some lap traffic. Alfie runs 3rd here. He's got 3 seconds plus. He's going to try and catch Joshua Sisk. And remember, Millet and Charon started both on the front row here. Millet with pole. Alfie to the outside, but it was just that first lap coming to green that he had his issues. Take a look at it once again here. Trying to get it to work here. There we go. Again, this was the opening lap. Coming to the green flag. Watch the number 9 to the outside. Starts to lose it on that first turn in. Saving it, saving it, saving it, saving it. Not saving it. That was lap 1. Then the field gets stacked up. Takes a pretty big impact to the left rear. And you see it, folks. The entire field went on by. He was dead last with the exception of maybe one truck. Meanwhile, with 3.5 laps to go, Charon back in the top 3 here, looking to finish this one off and put that truck on the podium. Millet still in command. 10.5 seconds back to the 6. While you guys are watching here, we've got 3 laps to go. All of you that are tuned in right now, if you could please just take one moment, click the like button on the stream in YouTube as the 3 goes around in front of the race leader. No harm, no foul. But help us out. Click the like button in the YouTube side of things. We do appreciate the viewership there. The likes make a big difference. It helps expand the broadcast to a little bit wider of an audience, so some new eyes get to see not only the broadcast but also this league. It's a good thing all around. So if you guys could hit that like button before you jump out here tonight, we do appreciate it. Millet out of turn 6, back to the S's once again. Just got to keep a solid rhythm here for Millet. He'll be just fine here. Now the advantage 11 plus seconds. Alfie's starting to chew into the gap to P2. It's 2.5 seconds. I don't know if there's enough time for Alfie to catch the 6. let alone maybe make the pass unless something significant happens to Joshua Sisk. Mike Adams at about 3 3/4 seconds behind third place Alfie Charon. Hunter Parsons still hanging tough in the 5th spot. Cole Henriksen doing the best he can out there in P6. Might have burned the rear tires off a little premature. I want to talk about Derek Welch too, though. Again, he started P6, still runs in the 7th spot. Derek really put the work in this week to get better at this craft. Not one of his favorite things to do, that's road racing, but he's doing a decent job at it. And I gotta say that he's doing it on a Logitech set of pedals, which that in itself is impressive. If Derek were to upgrade his hardware, a little bit better pedals, a little bit better steering, I think he'd be right with these top 4, top 5 drivers without a problem on road courses. He's certainly one to be reckoned with on an oval. I think he's got the skills for road course. If he just had a little bit better hardware, he'd be right there. Brandon Coleman in the number 19, running in the 9th spot. 45 and Mark Beverly in behind, but not for position. He's a lap down. Chris Klein, the 51 machine, rounding out the top 10. Klein, the first truck, 1 lap down at this point. Top 9 on the lead lap. Final lap for Zach Millett as he's up the hill into turns 3 and 4. Dominant performance. Fastest in practice, put the truck on the pole position. He's led the most laps here today. Almost had all of them led. Hunter Parsons spoiled that one. Meanwhile, Hunter Parsons has taken the 4th position from Mike Adamson. As Millett finishes out his run through the S's. Down into turn 11 for the final time. Zach Millett looking for a checkered flag. White flag still waving for the rest of the field, but he grabs the checkers. Zach Millett gonna win it in Sonoma. Millett takes the checkered flag in dominant fashion here at Sonoma Raceway. Joshua Sisk is going to come home second. Alfie Charon, a huge recovery. He's going to finish in P3. Taking the shortcut, going over the jump. Jonathan Arnn in the stream chat. Do you got any suggestions on a good driver coach to help me become a better racer? Well, laps, and more laps, but truthfully, reach out to Zach Millett, especially if you're running NTRL stuff or even LSR stuff. Zach's more than happy to help when the time permits. Jump in a session with him. He'll point out where you can do this, where you can do that, where you can be faster. So, yeah, don't hesitate. He doesn't bite unless you ask him to. Millett roasting the rear tires the rest of the way through the S's. Millett back to start finish to finish the celebration. Zach Millet victorious parks at start finish. Teammate Alfie Charon rolls alongside with a third place finish. I might be a little biased here, but it's a beautiful sight. With that, we're going to step aside, get a break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Sonoma Raceway, race number 2 of the Davidson Builders Truck Series in the books. Zach Millett with a dominant win. Let's pull the driver of the 315 HBR TV Silverado into the broadcast booth. Zach, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Congratulations, man. A dominant win here today as we watch this final pass for the win and the race lead here at Sonoma. You put the truck on the pole position here in, well, great fashion. I think it was almost a full second was the advantage. But talk about that final restart, trying to get by the 15 as he made his way around, led a couple of laps. You had to work your way through it and made the pass finally at the top of turn 2 and 3. Walk us through that final restart.
Man, for some reason, we were just talking with the guys in the green room there. The tires, the rear tires especially, just felt like they were made of plastic on that restart. I just couldn't get any grip at all. And trying so hard to get a good run off a corner and make the pass clean, but I don't know, it just wasn't going to happen the first 2 or 3 laps there. So I mean, he did everything right, Hunter. He was running real tight, and yeah, man, I just kind of had to throw it into turn 1 there and hope for the best. She stuck, so thank God. But it was sketchy. More on that restart than the entire race.
Certainly a fun one to watch. I know at times when we go on a road course and that has 4 guys in the truck, it's everyone's out there trying to beat you, and you saw some guys that really were putting the hammer down trying to do just that. You slipped almost back to P3 at one point, but you got that lead back and then drove away. What's the secret to getting around these places, whether it's in Sonoma, Watkins Glen, Mid-Ohio? It doesn't seem to make a difference to you, but why are you so fast at these places?
I don't know, man. It's just the practice, I think. You just got to put the laps in. This place especially, man, Sonoma with the trucks, it's just a whole different beast. I mean, just getting off the corners, you want to keep pace with everybody, but you don't want to burn your tires off doing it because it only takes 5 laps and you're going to be about a second and a half off their pace if they're saving. So it's weird, man, but you got to be fast, but you got to be conservative at the same time, I guess, and you can never be too good at that.
It's like being an infielder in baseball. Be fast, but don't hurry, right?
That's it, yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Next week, talk about being fast. We go into Texas Motor Speedway. No more right turns until later on in the season. But how do you feel about your shot out at No Limits, Texas next week?
Oh, man, I love Texas. It's we've had a lot of good luck there. We're going to put the practice in, as always, with our HBR guys. And, yeah, we'll see if we can maybe get another W, sneak one out.
Certainly looking forward to it, Zach. Congratulations on the race win here at Sonoma Raceway. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I got to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV for the broadcast, as always. I got to thank HBR TV for being on the truck. It's an awesome paint scheme, awesome sponsor. Glad to be a part of you guys. Numb Thumbs Gaming for the league, NTRL, great bunch of guys to race with. We look forward to it every week. It's a blast. I mean, hell, we had 30 trucks at Sonoma. It's pretty insane, man. But Track Bar Media, Martin Sports, HBRShops.com, Eric Dodson State Farm, Castle Products, and shoot me a follow over on Twitch at That S4 Guy.
That's Zach Millett, your race winner here from Sonoma Raceway. Next, we're going to talk to the runner-up, driver of the number 6. Had a strong run here today. Certainly made it known that he was here to compete. Joshua Sisk, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
We're doing good, Josh. Congratulations. A great run here at Sonoma. You gave it all you had. Brought it home P2. Not bad with a 4th place starting position. Walk us through your race, that final restart. Was there anything you had for the race winner, Zach Millett?
Man, first off, hats off to Zach. He had unbelievable pace. It was his race to lose, and he did a great job when those guys got pretty physical on the restart, getting the lead. So, honestly, I won the race behind Zach. He really was in a league of his own. I was pretty nervous at the start there when I think it was Alfie went around. I don't know how we all got through there, but we did. I had planned to undercut Zach and pit on lap 18. And the pits closed on me. I guess I wasn't really tracking that rule, so that's a driver error on my own fault. Otherwise, though, it was a clean race. Did get into the 101 a little bit there, but we already talked about it. He said it was his fault. He just didn't give me enough room, and checked the replay. No issue, no harm, no foul. So just ready to move on to some ovals.
Well, speaking of moving on and ovals, next week it's at Texas Motor Speedway. Certainly back to the grind that most of the drivers in this league are used to, as that's turning left. How do you feel about your shot next week?
Well, I kind of said this last week. I said I'd have a decent chance, so I feel that way every week. I don't think there's a single track on the circuit that anybody can say they're going to win, but I feel like I have a good chance. I do have one thing to say, a little off topic here, Steve. So last week I mispronounced Skylar Herod, or not Harold, his last name. As you can see, I'm still struggling. So I wanted to apologize for that.
I know the feeling.
I watched the broadcast. I saw you, the 6 truck, the Josh 6.
Killing me, dude. I make you change that number.
I love it too much, man. Hey, you do a great job. I appreciate you having us. Huge shout out to Skunkworks Graphics for wrapping the truck and passing under yellow for the setups. I just wanted to give them a thank you too.
Well, Josh, again, congratulations on a good runner-up finish here on the road course. Certainly wish you the best of luck next week at Texas. Anybody else you want to shout out to?
No, sir. That's it, man. I really appreciate it. And let me give a DW a quick shout out, man. Awesome league, doing a great job. It's a lot of trucks. It's a lot to maintain.
All right, it's Joshua Sisk, your runner-up here at Sonoma Raceway. Good luck next week, man.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to talk to Alfie Sharon in the number 9 HBR TV Chevrolet. I don't know how this one's going to go, but we're going to ask him all about it. He had his work cut out for him here tonight. Put the truck on the outside front row. Got her sideways up the hill on lap 1. Alfie Sharon and Steve in the booth. You got us?
I got you, Steve. How are you tonight?
Alfie, I don't know. I think I'm better than you tonight, but you brought it home back to a top 3 finish after those crazy first moments in that opening lap. First off, walk us through what happened there, and then tell us about your trek through the field to come back and finish top 3.
So, in the initial start, I tried tucking in behind Zach to just follow him through the first couple corners, and the tires just, they had the rubber boots on, and I just went up the hill a little too fast, and it just kicked loose on me, and I was just going for the ride and praying that nobody was going to hit me. And luckily, only Beetle, he just lightly bumped me and gave me a little bit of damage, but the truck went through the field perfectly.
Well, it was certainly a fun one to watch. You didn't waste any time. I think just in that same lap, you still made up, 2 or 3 positions, and then it was one after another from that point on. And we talked about it during the broadcast. You've certainly honed your road racing craft over the last few seasons, whether it's here at NTRL or elsewhere. It's been fun to watch. You had a great run here tonight, man. I think maybe you could have had a runner-up finish here to Zach Millett, maybe even given him a run for his money. Who knows? Anything could have happened, but it's been fun to see, man.
Yeah, like you said, getting better on road courses, I just got to thank you and Zach, because, you guys have both taught me a lot on getting different brake points and stuff, and when to downshift, what gears to go through corners. It's been a lot of help, and I'm glad I got teammates like that to help me get better at road coursing.
Well, it's certainly really awesome to see. It's fun to watch. Not everybody can pick up on it, but it's good to see that it's sitting in with at least somebody out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if I had anything for Zach, like you said, but I'm gonna get that day where I'm gonna get him legit.
Well, that's the thing. Just don't beat yourself. If you come into a race not expecting to win, you've lost before the green flag even comes out. So you have to have that mindset of go for it, no matter who's up against you, and you could probably get her done. And today you proved that you have the skills to make your way up into this top 3 after an opening lap fiasco. So Alfie, again, congratulations, man, a top 3 finish, solid run. Next week we go to Texas Motor Speedway, back on the oval. You've got a little more success on the oval. How do you feel about your shot next week?
I'm pretty sure I looked at the schedule. It's the new Texas, so I'm actually very confident that I have a shot to talk to you again next week. Hopefully it's to talk to you first. Hopefully I can beat out my HBR teammate Zach Millett at that track.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, Alfie. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you go?
I just got to shout out to you for doing an awesome broadcast and also painting this awesome 9 truck that I get to race in NTRL. Got to thank Eric Dodson from State Farm, Track Bar Media, that S4 guy, Zach Millett, Numb Thumbs for everything that they do, Derek Welch personally, because he puts on a great league and everyone has a lot of respect in here and it's awesome to see, Castle Packs Power, Black Diamond Gaming, Country Designs, and of course, go check out all of Steve's personal stuff on hbrtv1.com.
Well, Alfie, you may have finished 3rd in the race, but you won the interview portion of the segment. Congratulations.
Thank you, Steve, and I will see you next week.
Thanks for talking to us, Alfie. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Top 3 finishers in the book, Millett, Sisk, and Sharon Jr. Interview portion is complete. Let's take a look at our race results. Don't worry, Terry Crouch. I've got the right part pulled up, not practice. Zach Millett, of course, your race winner. Joshua Sisk, Alfie Sharon Jr., your top three. Hunter Parsons was fourth after giving Millett a run for his money on the restart. Mike Adamson was fifth. Cole Henriksen was sixth. Derek Welch, P7, a strong run for the one. Evan Dupre was eighth. Brandon Coleman comes home in the ninth spot. Chris Klein takes it home 10th. Brian Torsha was 11th. Good run for Torch. Eric Beadle still brought it home in 12th. What did we say early on? That car was wadded up. Round file that machine. He gets it fixed. He comes back out. Still a lap down, but a 12th place finish here on the road course. A solid run for the 119 of Eric Beadle. Tony Polk was 13th. Mark Beverly 14th. 15th went to D. Allen Grote. Skylar Harrod was 16th. Jacob Bowen 17th. Paul Durkee finishes out in the 18th spot. 19th went to Justin Lawson. Robert Chipman Jr. was 20th. 21st was Ben McKinnon. Scott Milner 22nd. Mark Collins 23rd. 24th went to Jesse Sperling. Jarrett Woodard 25th. Jeff Ottinger 26th. Jacob Sperling was 27th. PJ Cox 28th. Justin Morrow 29th. 30th, Dave Holmberg, and Tom Barish was 31st, 40 laps down. I think he took the green flag, and that was about it. Just locking in the start and park points. Those are your race results here from Sonoma Raceway. The Davidson Builders Truck Series in the books. Dominant win by Zach Millett here at the Raceway tonight. Got to thank you guys all for tuning in to HBR TV for tonight's broadcast. If you haven't already done so, check us out on the website, hbrtv1.com. We've got race pictures. We have the ability to pull up the live link for the day if I can ever remember to repost it. We'll get it back there at some point. But it does help us out. Check that out. There's some pictures. There's some tab in there for some logos for you iRacing painters. A little bit of everything out there. So check it out. We do appreciate it. And as we spoke late in the broadcast, give us a like, a follow, a share, subscribe on the YouTube side. YouTube.com/@HBRTV and the number 1. The likes make the biggest difference. It puts us in front of a wider audience, helps get more eyeballs on the broadcast and the league itself. So if you could do that, it's easy, it's free. We don't charge for that sort of thing. So just hit the like button, help us out. We do appreciate it. Lastly, congratulations once again to Zach Millett. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.